What do you get when you put Jackie, the joke man, Martling and Peter, Bales on a show called More Stand-Up Memories? You get this. Funny memories, funny stories, comedians and jokes you've seen before. So stay a while and laugh with us at least until you're bored.
And we're not bored yet.
Speak for yourself.
All right. Welcome to Stand Up Memories.
Jokes you heard before. Stay till you're bored.
Peter Bales, Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Our podcast is called Stand Up Memories, and our guest is sitting here. His name is Chris Williamson, and he is a comedian who got his start somewhere. I have to remember.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
At a
William
comedy
Christensen.
school where comedians go to start here on Long Island called Stand Up University.
Oh, so he didn't go to the good one. He went to yours.
That's right. No, he went to the right one and got a running start into the business.
How did you hear about his university, his college, his major ripoff?
Reform school?
Where did you hear about it?
So I'll tell you this too. I was thinking about this in the green room. It was 26 years ago. I was in class because my first graduation was April 2000.
Wow.
Yeah. So 26 years ago.
You're talking about his class.
His class, Stand Up You. Yeah.
Well, then we might have been doing it 28 years or something like that by now, because we started in the previous century. I thought it was going to last 6 months, and here we are 28 years later, and we have comedians out there working that started in our class, and Chris is one of them.
Now, how did you hear about it?
So I was thinking about doing stand-up, but I didn't really know where to start. The internet wasn't that big in 1999, 2000. So I heard Governors on Long Island was having an open mic night, and I watched the open mic night. I was in the crowd, and Rich Walker, your
partner in crime, Rich Walker.
Yeah, he announced after the show that Stand Up You was starting. So I took the plunge and took the class.
Wow, that's a while back.
That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
And did you take the class more than once?
I did it more than once. I actually took it again last year, just because every so often I like to write with Peter and Rich. It's helpful.
We have people come back and they want to get polished up another 5, 6, 7 minutes.
That's great. That's
great. So it is terrific, and I appreciate you coming on the show because you are out there doing stand up, which you love. I know.
Mm-hmm. You know what was funny about it? I graduated. So when you all have the graduation show, it's a packed club. Everything is perfect. Right? It's the perfect. You get a nice tape. My second show was at a bar somewhere where they were cursing me out and screaming at me.
It's a wake up call.
Yeah,
because when you're doing his graduation, it's you and all the other people. So it's all your friends and their friends, and everybody has your back,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, supportive. And then I remembered I emailed Rich Walker after that second show and said, I don't know if I can do this again. Like, the bar was like, all right, turn the Yankee game on so we can listen. Turn the Yankee game off so we can listen to the comedians.
Now, wait a minute. These jokes worked last night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We all been there.
Jackie and I go way back to when Long Island had the Islanders, who were the hottest hockey team ever since. I mean, nobody's going to do what they did ever again.
Like 5 years in a row.
How many? I forget how many years in a row.
5 crowns in a row.
Or maybe it was.
It was 4 cups.
I think it was
And then
4 cups.
The 5th year, Wayne Gretzky beat them for the cup.
Okay,
Ooh.
you got good. But
Mhm.
that's not going to be repeated. But we would go to bar shows and everybody would be watching the Islanders, and then they'd turn off the Islanders and say, "Time for comedy, shut up."
It was,
goodness.
I remember so distinctly. I had, I don't know who else was on the show, but Carol Leifer was on the show. And it was one of these shows out in Suffolk. And we had to start the show because if you didn't do the show, you weren't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't a hockey fan, so I knew nothing about hockey. But it was in double overtime. And I had the bartender turn off the TV. I can't believe I got out of there alive. And to this day, if I see Carol, she says, "Oh, what a pair of balls you had, man! Holy mackerel!" I didn't realize what a big deal it was to everybody there, Yeah.
One of the great things, though, was after we graduated was you did help us find stage time, because that's the most important thing when you're new, is getting up there and getting kicked in the teeth a lot of nights.
When I hit the comic strip in Manhattan in 1979, the new wave of stand-up was still relatively new. There weren't that many comedians. People were just catching on that this is really cool. And stage time was hard to get then. And now it's virtually impossible. You have to create the shows yourself. They have bringer
There's a zillion
shows.
comedians,
There's
right?
a zillion comedians. Back in 1979, being a comedian was like being a fighter pilot in that Richard Gere. What was the name of that Richard Gere movie where he played the fighter pilot?
Top Gun.
No, it wasn't.
Officer and a Gentleman.
Officer and a Gentleman.
One of those.
Yes.
I remember in like 1979, the best way to get a gig was if you had a car.
That's true. And that doesn't change. I mean, that's still a factor. I think how funny you are is about number 5 down the list of who gets booked on a show.
Right.
I mean, you gave us a lot of good advice in class. Like, don't be annoying. Don't be on time. Be early. Things.
Don't be annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, and there are
If
bookers.
the club owner's a dick, don't tell him.
Right.
There are bookers, agents, if you want to call them that, who are producing shows, and it's not to your benefit to be a pain. They're doing a job. They want to book the show. They want to go home. That's what they do and if you're going to complain and try to get another $50 out of them, that's going to be counterproductive.
I don't know if I can make it tonight. My mother just died.
I mean,
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to use you again. Jesus.
well, I think there's a middle ground. I think that I always tell young comedians, you don't have to kiss ass, but
But it doesn't hurt.
but no, that's not what I tell them. Just be a good person, be responsible, do what you're supposed to do. Don't go long. I mean, one of the sure signs of an amateur comedian is going long.
This is a guy opens my show, supposed to do 25 minutes, and every single time he does 40.
Okay, now that is
lecture everybody about not going long. What were you saying?
that is unfair.
It is incredibly unfair.
I went long one time, slightly. All right, I a little bit guilty. I admit that.
Next time I'm going to do a freeze frame of the 38 minutes, 39.
Yeah. It's a good lesson, though, because I did a lot of MC work back then, and there'd be 18 comics on an open mic at a club, and 5 minutes each. That's it. And the same, people would go over their time, and you wouldn't want to book them for anything, so you knew there was going to be a problem.
I know. You stick to your time. Doesn't matter that you're doing well. Stick to your time, and when you see the light, get off within 1 minute. And if the light is flashing, it's probably too late. Get off, but they're not going to use you again. That's how mad they are if they're actually flashing the light.
When I was hot stuff in the 90s, I would go to work at different places around the country, and they'd put a local act to open. And a lot of times these were acts that weren't used to having a lot of people in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they've got a full house that's going berserk, and they're supposed to do 20 minutes. And they've never experienced that kind of laughter and appreciation. And you couldn't blame them that they didn't want to get off on, geez, so I actually used to go up and punch them.
Really?
Yeah. That was the only way.
I got to tell you, stick to your time. Don't be a jerk. Be respectful of people. Just do the right thing. The best advice I ever got from somebody, as far as stand-up comedy was concerned, was from a well-known comedian.
He told you to sell aluminum siding?
He told me to sell aluminum siding like Rodney. Larry Miller, very well-known comic. I remember we were in Central Park, and we had a softball team for the comic strip. We were in the Broadway Show League, and I wanted to get on earlier at the comic. I would have killed my grandmother to go on one spot earlier at the comic strip. And I asked him, how I could do that. And he turned to me and he goes, just do the right thing. And I walked away going, do the right thing. How's that going to help me? I want to get on before 11. And then, years go by and you realize That is the answer. It's the answer to a lot of things in life. Do the right thing. In
Don't
your
make
comedy-
waves.
yeah,
Don't.
well, don't make waves. Do your job. Don't be a jerk. Try your new bits. Do the right thing. He was right. He was absolutely right. Great advice that I didn't appreciate at the time, but I give to people now. Do the right thing.
It's hard. You know, it's hard too when you're new, and I'm doing it a while now, but you worry about what everybody else is getting. Like, why did he get that show and I didn't get that show? Or why is he working there and I'm not working there? And it's hard.
Yeah, that never goes away. That, makes you crazy.
It makes you crazy, but don't expect logic in stand-up comedy. And as I say, funny is part of it, but not the biggest part.
Because
by
somewhere
far.
you're doing a show and somebody else is saying, "How did he get that show? Why didn't I get that show?"
Well,
Yeah.
people are probably saying, how's Chris on with Peter and Jackie right now? Why didn't I get that?
That's right.
Well, tell them that you slipped us a few dollars. That's how show business works.
Well, you're a nice guy, and that's
Thank you.
What's
Chris.
cool?
I was
You know what I learned in the early days too that was really cool? Like I might be able to get back then I could get like a 5-minute spot at the Comedy Cellar on like an early show on a Saturday night or something. And you'd hang out and you'd be rubbing elbows with you'd meet like Dave Chappelle and Dave Attell and the comics. If you're a musician, you're probably not going to bump into Bruce Springsteen or something, but in comedy, it's really cool when you can do stuff like that.
That's great. That's great.
And when they ask, you would bring them drinks.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you would rub elbows.
And I have a weird face. Like people, they think I'm somebody else all the time. Like, are you? I don't know what it is, but I guess I have a generic face. People think I'm.
Yeah, I
another
know. I know. I know you're not the Gilgo Beach
I
killer, but you
thought-
look a little bit.
I was thinking Carol Leifer. See, her name came up again.
Carol Leifer.
Yeah, your old girlfriend.
Oh, that's a problem.
Peter, do you remember the old show you used to run in Huntington, the open mic?
At a club called Christopher's. It was a tough room.
I've
But
never
everybody-
even heard of that.
No, there's a bar. It's can't possibly still be open.
I don't know, but I just have this funny memory. It's been in my head for 25 years. But you booked Otto and George.
Oh,
right? And do you remember the show?
Otto and George, classic act. The late Otto and George, ventriloquist act.
Anybody that's watching right now, you should do yourself a favor and Google Otto and George, and you'll thank us, right?
Yeah, and it's hard. I can't even describe them because they're unique. But I will describe. I'll try and I'll say it this way: they were so bad, they were good, and beyond good, they were great, because everything that he did and said with this dummy was wrong. It was over the line.
Foul and mean, and
A bad ventriloquist who moved his lips. Everything was wrong, and that's what made it great.
So I got to open for Otto a few times, but this particular night at Christopher's, he didn't show up, and the place was packed, drunk, and he was on the radio a lot. So Otto doesn't show up, and I remember you said to me, "I'm going to bring you up first, but I'm going to do some time." And I remember we got slammed, the first two guys up, because they were all there to see Otto and George, and
that's I used to book shows, and like the third time that he didn't show, I said, "Otto, I love you, and I think you're the funniest guy in the world, but I'm never booking you again. You can't do a show and have the headliner not show up, and that was very rare. Everybody shows up, whether they're drunk or stupid or,
But then people used to book them and make sure that they booked a ride at the same time they booked them.
right.
it's usually at Chips Cooney.
Chips Cooney,
I love.
a great comedian as well that we used to work with. He did a bad magician to open his show, and was very, very. Every trick he did was ridiculously bad, and it was so bad it was good. I'm fascinated by what we call comedians. Comedians
The comics would stand there and watch
They'd stand in the back. The comics would stand in the back and watch Otto and George, because he was so bad, he was good, and something was going to go wrong.
Chips.
And Chips Cooney to a certain
You know,
extent.
I knew that guy. I've known that guy he's still with us.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
absolutely still
Yeah.
with us. Yeah.
But I worked at a place in Lavallette, New Jersey. I don't know why I remember. It was a hotel when I first got started. And I went down to do the gig, and I got there in the afternoon, and I saw this guy on stage with a electric drill. And I thought he was either building the stage or putting up a speaker, and I thought that was interesting. And then I came back to do the show, and it was Don Ippolito, who became Chips Cooney, and the electric drill was in his act. Don't ask me how, but I was like, I couldn't believe it. You know, like, holy Christ, you know. To this day, I should call him and ask him how the hell did a drill wind up in your act, you know.
I remember
Great
hosting a
characters.
show at Rascals in New Jersey, and Chips Cooney was on the show. And he did an impression. He ended his show with his impression of the oldest Chippendale dancer. And he stripped down to his boxer shorts. But when he took his undershirt off, he had like tubing, taped onto his chest. And let's just say Chips would sometimes drink a little bit before he'd go on stage.
Occasionally, he'd have a nip.
I don't know if you can relate to that at all.
No, not even a little.
And he was part of the act that he would stumble off stage, and he really threw himself into it like a method actor. And he's stumbling off the stage, and he rolled down the steps, and he cut his back on some of the metal that was holding down the carpet, and a pretty big bloody cut that he was.
And it was so bad you didn't know if that was part of the show.
No, you didn't know. I don't think I have that memory because most comics don't bleed.
I remember him doing his magic act, opening up for Otto, and he got done, and he turned around to put his stuff away, and it was a monstrous poop stain on the back of his shorts, and it was like everybody freaked. I mean, it wasn't real. With any luck, it wasn't real. But holy mackerel, like God.
I think those are called skid marks.
Yeah.
It was this wasn't a skid mark. This was an accident that had happened.
But you remember the extremes of comedy. Chris, I want to ask you about your worst show ever in a second. But we remember the Wid, the Incredible Wid. Was it the
He's still around, sure.
Yeah, he
Good friend.
great comic, prop act, the most incredible prop act, incredible amounts of stuff that he would just bring it up and do a joke and pick up the next thing. And I was at a show where he was picking up so many props. Do you know what I'm about to say?
No.
Picking up so many props, doing the joke, going to the next one. He hit himself in the mouth and chipped his tooth.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
the last time I actually worked with him at a place called the Parks Casino in outside of Philadelphia, and he opened the show, and you can't believe the amount of crap he has.
I know it was.
And
weird.
then to go up and follow him, it was like not impossible, but it was like following a train wreck,
Yeah,
But I love the guy, he's
a great act, very funny,
very
unique,
smart.
unique. Chris, all right. Most of the shows are great. We know that, but not all of them. Think of a nightmare.
So after Stand Up You and banging around for a year at the open mics, I met Paul Veneer, the comedy
Paul Veneer,
tornado.
the comedy
Talking about a guy,
New Jersey guy.
Yeah, guy who has a lot of crap on stage, right? A lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
My God.
Right. And he got me into the road, which I thought was great at the time until I saw what the road was. The hotel rooms were not always up to
It
par.
sounds so great.
Oh, the best, right?
And then all of a sudden you realize every hotel hallway has that same smell. You always get the last room at the end, and the sink doesn't work, and the shower doesn't work.
So it was my first road gig without Paul, but with his booker, Steve Bix, who passed away. I was working for Bix. And first I get to the hotel, and I'm all, I have a hotel. I'm a road comic, and they tell me at the desk, hey, just so you know, there's a men's room in the hallway. You have a shower, but the toilet's out of order. Okay. I go in the room. Not only is the toilet out of order, there's no toilet. There's just a hole in the floor, like the sewer pipe is.
Oh,
You know,
God.
and you can smell some of the fumes coming up. You know,
I can't even imagine. I can't
No
even.
business.
It's like show business.
so I get to the gig, and maybe I have 15 minutes now. I'm not doing it that long, and I'm supposed to open. I'm going to host and do 10 or 15 minutes, and they tell me, "Hey, the headline is running late. We're just going to put you up there, right? And just go until the headliner gets here."
We'll wave when he gets here.
Yeah, and I did about 32 minutes that night, and that's when I discovered crowd work. But it wasn't a huge crowd. But I think I went around the crowd 3 times waiting for this guy to show up. And I started off hot, and by the time my time was up, you know, it was not good.
They were glad to see you go.
Yeah, they were happy I was off.
That is the hardest thing, and I've talked to other comics about this, is when you go up and you don't know if you're doing 10 or 20 or 30 or keep going until we tell you, because you don't know how to pace yourself.
That's so tough.
It's the absolute toughest thing to do in comedy. Who was the head? Do you remember who the headliner was who was late?
Was it Alan Enslow, I think, or
Alan Enlow.
Enlow, yeah.
Good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
But he was late that night.
I think he was bringing an opener. This is, again,
Okay.
like 25 years ago. But like, so I you know, it was just, like I said.
So none of the show was there.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then it was in like State College, Pennsylvania, which is like an 8-hour drive. You know, so after the show, I decided not to stay at the hotel because of the smell.
That's
Not only did I take it on the chin that night, I drove 8 hours up, 8 hours home for about $100, whatever I got paid at the time.
okay. You just turned off a lot of young comedians from comedy, and they're going to quit now.
Yeah. Well,
The truth is, when you're first getting started, the way you would hear that is, wow,
Wow,
A road
that's
gig.
so cool.
my
a
own
road
hotel
gig.
room, you know.
you see, I saw the crazy stuff in Pennsylvania. Like there was the guy, the pickle man, that would ride around.
The pickle man.
He would ride around a bicycle that had a toilet on the bicycle, and he would. I don't know if you ever saw that. He had a toilet bicycle. He would ride around the VFW halls. and stuff.
You would not have worked for the pickle man because the money was poor.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But he would give you a big jar of pickles after
Yeah.
the gig.
Was he a booker?
He was a booker.
comic?
Yeah. He was a booker.
I never
And-
even
and
heard
Philly-
of this.
No,
guy.
I know.
Oh.
He's a Philly guy.
Yeah.
Pickle
The
man.
pickle man.
And I was on stage, and he just came riding into the room on a toilet bicycle.
What was the toilet for?
It was a seat. The seat on the bicycle
Oh, was
a
a toilet.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, like, I don't have a toilet. He's got a toilet on his bicycle.
Oh, that's
you know?
very.
This
funny.
is the business we have chosen.
This is the business we have chosen.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
that's so
tough,
funny.
tough gigs, you know. And again, most of the time, no problem. But the hotel stories that you hear, has the power ever gone out on you? Has there ever been a fight that breaks out while you're on?
I've seen some fights. Yeah, I mean, more than one. You know, sometimes I wish it's like the Blues Brothers, where you have that screen in front of you where the beer bottles can hit the
Knock on wood,
screen.
there has never been a fight at any show I've ever done, and I can't believe it because there's certainly been enough crazy people and weirdos, especially the Stern audiences. But I was very lucky. But you know, when I played in a band in Detroit, we were playing. What's the Rolling Stones song? War, sister, it's just a shot away. We're playing that, and there was a motorcycle room, a motorcycle bar. And these guys are beating the hell out of each other, and the owner's like, "Keep playing." We're singing "War, brother, it's just a shot away," and they're beating the crap out of each other. I'm like,
That's Gimme Shelter, isn't that?
"Give me
that?
shelter." Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I've seen so many fights. What you can see from under a chair, but you know they do happen. Stuff happens. The power goes out. You got to keep going.
The first I had power go out once. I was working with a magician. It was Julian Dean. It was my first paid hosting gig ever. And Julian Dean was on stage, and the power went out. And he's a magician, so somebody yelled out, "Hey, Mr. Magician, make the power come back on."
Of course.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, but let me ask you a question. Can you think of a single fight or problem with the audience ever that's not related in some way to alcohol.
It's usually alcohol.
Not
Yeah.
usually, every time. Every time.
yeah.
Of course.
Every time.
Of course.
I
Or,
mean,
or worse.
Not only that, the audience is drinking too.
that's very, very funny. So what do you love? What makes you keep going? Especially when you're squatting over a pipe in the floor.
Yeah, the funny thing is, some of the guys I met in the beginning we're still friends now, right? And I do miss the old days when we do a crappy open mic and then hang out in a diner till 4 a.m, right?
Those
Jokes.
guys, you will have a bond with them for the rest of your life.
Forever.
The
Forever
guys
and
that
ever.
you started with.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're happy for each other when things
The
happen. of
diner
course.
and the ride.
Mhm.
To, when we first started, I remember being in the car with Hawthorne and Woods and Minervini, and I just remember so clearly Woods going, you're a comedian, and it's the third night in this week that you've been on the George Washington Bridge.
That's right.
You've probably been on the George Washington Bridge twice in your life before that, and now you're going to here and there.
Bob Woods is a legendary Long Island comedian who was on the road, who was homeless, who drank a lot, who said things deliberately to drive people crazy. I heard he pulled a joke on you, Jackie, that cracks me up. I mean, he had to work at it to get okay. You're probably going to say that's not how it happened, but this is how I heard it.
Mr. Rips.
Hawthorne and Woods in the front, you're in the back. And you've got your guitar. And you left from Long Island together. And from the beginning of the ride, Woods starts pestering you. And Hawthorne was driving and his radio was broken.
This is a true story.
So the radio doesn't work. So Bob Woods, from the beginning of the ride, is turning around in the back seat and saying, Jackie, radio's busted. Come on, play us something, which is very irritating for Jackie. He doesn't want to play music in the back
And
seat.
he would not shut
And
up.
and every 5 minutes, come on, Jackie, play us something. Play. And this goes on there in traffic. It's like, well, past an hour and a
By
half.
Mustache Pete's and Haskell, which is an hour and a half.
Finally, they're getting closer to the gig. And come on, Jackie, come on, play something. And Jackie finally goes, all right. And he takes out his guitar. He plays, he strums it once, and Woods goes, that's enough. And he grabs
And they laugh for a half an hour.
but it is funny. It's funny to this
So
day.
it was so funny.
Oh my goodness. And those guys, you have a bond with them for the rest of your life.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you will make friends for life, starting out in stand-up comedy and going on in stand-up comedy. Friends for life.
It's not anything like the military, but it is that like you've been in the wars.
You've been in
with
combat.
them.
I think it's absolutely, well, that's ridiculous to say because it's not really a foxhole, but it kind of
But
is.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
I squatted over that same hole, I'm sure, in that hotel room.
And enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I can't get that that image out of my head right now.
Oh.
Chris Williamson. Chris Williamson started. Where did you? I keep forgetting where you started in stand-up comedy. Jackie, do you remember? Where we started in standupuniversity.com. The best comedy class anywhere. But we're here on Long Island at the brokerage. And we should tell everybody that we are at Paradise Studios in
That's where we emanate from.
We emanate from
We
Paradise Studios. Paradise Studios is this great facility that has all different studios for podcasting, for video, any video podcasting needs. You come to Paradise Studios. It's run by Bobby, and ask for Bobby, and he'll take care of whatever you need.
You can do your own show. You can videotape it. You can do a podcast, whatever you need. Right.
And we are on a platform called Strong Island Television, where you can see a lot of the Paradise Studios productions. It's wonderful.
And all of our shows are on More Stand-Up Memories on Facebook, right?
That's what I understood. More stand-up memories. .com. Yes, I think we have that now. That's what we're up with that. We're continuing. How many years we've been doing this?
14.
14 years. It seems like 14 years, but it's a number of years now. Maybe as many as 4.
At least 4.
All right. We don't thank our producer.
Michael Zinn.
Michael Zinn.
He's a songwriter. He wrote a song about watching us to see old jokes and then getting bored.
And watch us until you get bored. No, I think it's funny.
He's a dick.
All right.
No, he's very talented, and we appreciate him, and we appreciate Bobby Lacera. We appreciate you.
Thank you. And if I could say, if I could, I do want to, you said not to kiss ass, but if I can a little bit, Peter,
Go ahead.
thank you for being a great mentor to me.
Oh.
It's appreciated. And Jackie, I mean, it's just cool to be in the studio with you after being a fan for so long and stuff.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
And-
That's very, very nice.
Yeah. And you guys forged the way for us, and so it's never forgotten.
Thank you. I'm going to
Appreciate it.
That's just nice.
So now I have to drive home with an erection.
This has been
Stand
Stand
Up.
Up Memories. Our guest has been Chris Williamson. You have been
A wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Jackie the Joke Man Marling. And I'm Peter Bales. We will see you next time on Stand Up Memories.
See you later.